Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna take another trip today, heading up to the Cuberant Lake area off the pass lake trailhead. But rather than taking the trail, I'm off the trail again today. I'm not very far from the trailhead, and I've already come into my first little pond. I'm gonna kind of get up on a bench, looked like on Google Earth anyway, and cut more level rather than drop down into Reed's Meadow and then have to climb back out of the hill. So we'll see if we get lost, we'll see what we find, see if we can catch another fish today. My buddy Cash, he's super excited to be here today, as he always is. These beautiful little ponds, but I said I'm not 100 feet from the trailhead. I say this in all my videos, but what a beautiful time of year to be up here. These are just unnamed ponds. Looks like people are camping up here. There's this one here. And then a stone's throw away. There's this one over here. And I've only walked a couple hundred yards. From my truck. And I've made it to the elevation I wanted to get up to. Now it's just a matter of cutting across. I do like this area. There's some deadfall, but not near as much as some of the places I've been to. And there are some stellar views. There's Bald Mountain, Murdoch Mountain there to the left. Wildflowers out everywhere. And I've been on the trail maybe 5 minutes. There's Reed's Peak. So here's another beautiful little stream coming down through here, but I'm not alone. These are fairly fresh. Those are moose tracks. There's a beautiful meadow just coming out right here. Who knows what we might run into. I didn't hear anything crashing off through the brush. If I see something, I'll definitely bring you along. This area before. The Pass Lake Trailhead actually has one of my favorite little loop hikes for a day hike. I brought my kids along on it. And when my youngest daughter was 3, maybe 4 years old, and she hiked almost the whole thing by herself. It goes up on top of this mountain here. Just on the other side there is Lofty Lake. And we came up around 10 or so. It gives you a couple hours to get up in there, have lunch by that lake. You hike down around the other side of that mountain, and just over the finger here is Camas Lake. And it makes a loop rather than, hiking out to a place and then turn around and follow in the same trail back, which I really enjoy. All the fresh new scenery you get along the way. I think it's 5-ish miles round trip, and if you take, I mean, goodness, 4 or 5 hours, you can do it at a snail's crawl and not really get too overworked. And up on this rocky section, when you get up on here, up over the other side, we've seen mountain goats, all sorts of animals, and caught fish out of both the lakes. So I do love just running into these just little dinky ponds out here. I know they're nothing but a habitat for mosquitoes to spawn in, but they're so pretty. So Cuberant Lake is just on the other side of this mountain right here in front of me. I'm almost to the trail junction. I'm gonna cross the Lofty Lake Loop trail and then take the Cuberant Lake Cutoff Trail. Whew. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna hit the Lofty Lake Trail though. Thank goodness I have my map system. It will tell me whether I need to go up or down the trail to get there. Oh, and this is the hike that just keeps on giving. Oh, and here is the Lofty Lake Loop Trail. Just got to figure out if I need to go up or down. I'm 99% sure I need to go up just a little bit, but I kind of did it on purpose. Hit it low so there wouldn't be so much of a question. But I'll check my map and get going in the right direction. Well, after looking at my map, I was wrong. I had to go downhill, but it was like 20 feet, and I've run into the Cutoff Trail. So I'm going to be taking the trail from here on. Somewhere I've never been. I've walked this Lofty Lake Trail dozens of times, but never up this one. So we'll see where she goes. So here is, I thought would be a pond just off the Lofty Lake Trail on the Cuberant Cutoff Trail. It's actually a pretty decent sized little lake. Not huge, but I bet there's fish in there if they didn't all winter kill. Cool little island in the middle of the pond lake. Reed's Peak in the background. Bald Mountain on that side. Well, I've been 1.3 miles so far since I left my truck. I'm taking my first water break here. I know a lot of these little streams and stuff come right out of lakes and things up higher. I get my water for my house right out of the Bear River. It's not horribly filtered. I do have filtration system if I want it, but I drink out of the Bear River every now and then just because I have done it my whole life and it keeps my immunity up. I don't recommend it for everybody. I've had guys come to their house or to my house and fill their canteens up to go hiking or camping and not fare too well that night. So I'm gonna sit down and take a drink of water and we'll keep trucking. I just wanted to point out there's all sorts of hydration systems and bladders and Nalgene bottles and all sorts of stuff. I've carried just a water bottle, and they're way cheaper than any of the other systems, and when you buy them they come with water in them. It's pretty handy. I carry a Sawyer Mini to refill it. I've dropped this thing rock climbing. I've dropped them. I roof. That's one of my side jobs I do, and they're pretty indestructible, and if they pop you just go buy another one. They're $2. I've dropped Nalgene bottles and had them just explode. And bladders, well, they're convenient with the sip tube to get a drink out of. They're always so stinking small, I can never stay hydrated drinking out of one. I'm always dying of thirst, and I can't get enough water out of them. Now, a buddy of mine told me they make them with a extra large hose that remedies that, but I've just never made the investment. Maybe one of these days I will try it. It may be really hard to see, but there's a solid line going up there, and I've seen it in a bunch of different places. Usually when somebody rides a bike, you know, unless they're going in a perfectly straight line, it leaves more than one tire track. And all the times that I've seen this, it's just been one. So I don't know if somebody has some kooky wheelbarrow backpack system, or if somebody actually rode a bike up here. But when I rode my bike up to the Hellhole Lake on an old trail or an old road they actually upkeep, it was rough. I cannot imagine riding my bike through all this. But if you're tough enough to do that, man, you have my respect. So, in anticipation of having to cross a bunch of boggy meadows, which I have, I wore my mountaineering boots today rather than my little toe shoes. And I guess I'm glad I did. They're way more comfortable, a lot lighter and grippier and all that good stuff, but my feet would be soaked to the bone right now if I had have worn them. So the trail gets a little sketchy going through this bog, but I think I've picked it back up here on the other side, along with some fresh moose tracks. But I haven't seen one yet. Here's some more single trail on here. It's wide enough, it's definitely a bike. Dude must have wanted it pretty bad, because we've been over some rocky, rough terrain, lots of downfall trees. But I get it. So I've hit the trail where it starts to climb up over this rocky section. If you look on Google Earth, or go to my website, Clay on the Trail, GitHub, GITHUB.io, clayonthetrail.github.io. I actually keep track of my tracks, and you can upload them on Google Earth and actually see where the trail goes. But got up here high enough, there's another beautiful lake down here. Can't see all of it. There's a little bit through the trees there, and the biggest part right there. I'll have to look it up and see if it has a name. Oh, but this is starting to be work. Anything worth doing is. This trail just got kind of real here. There's 4 or 5 switchbacks. I'm pretty sure I'm going to pop out right there between the trees.